All right, so this video is going to cover how to do ISO number 4. Let's talk about the colors that I have drawn on here and what they represent. The baseline of this object is in yellow. And so the number of boxes that make up this baseline is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 boxes make up the baseline. The height is in green. So the total height of the object is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The depth of the object is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have a line right here to represent this radius. We're going to create this radius by using a circle command. So the radius is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the whole entire shape as a block. So it's going to be 9 by 6. Sorry, 9 by 6. And the height of it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 5 again. So we're going to get started there. So what I'm going to do is 2D sketch again, find my XY plane. And remember, we're going to use the rectangle command. I want you all to start being able to use some of these other options here and get versed at this. So I'm going to start with a rectangle. I'll find the center of the space. If you notice, I have an X and Y coordinate system following my cursor. Click the center, open this up. The first dimension was the baseline was 9 boxes. So it's going to be 9 times 0.5. Then I hit the tab key, not the enter key, the tab key. And the height was 5 times 0.5. Press enter. Hit the word front. I'm going to zoom out. So remember the extrusion. Let's go back here and check that. The extrusion here was this purple line, which is 6 boxes long. So it'd be 6 times 0.5. So I'll do a finish sketch. Zoom back into view. Go to extrude. And I'll type in 6 times 0.5. Now look at this as like a big piece of clay. And we're going to carve in all the features here. So we need to go back and analyze the drawing a little bit. All right, so the next detail I'm going to put in, I like to put in this cut right here. All right, so the radius of this cut goes from the center of here to here. So that radius is going to be 2 boxes. So it'll be 2 times 0.5. I want to show you an option here to do this. I'm going to go to 2D sketch. So when I click on this, I want that curve, a cut to exist on this edge right here. So I left click on this surface, I get these options that show up. If you flow through them, one says extrude, the other one says edit sketch, the other one says share a sketch, and this last one says create a sketch. So this is the other option that you can use to create a sketch. I'm going to click that. I'm going to rotate this around. I'm going to do a project geometry. So I'm going to click on that option. I'm going to click this surface. And you notice now my surface here is highlighted in yellow. I'm going to go to circle. And I'm going to float over this line until I find the midpoint. Should be a green dot. I'm going to float over this line until I find the midpoint, which is a green dot. I click that, open it up. Now, before I click again, I'm going to right click. And right now it's showing me that that the diameter is not checked. If I check diameter, then I'll put in the option. But since it's a radius, right, I want to go ahead and leave it as a radius. And you'll see what I mean. I'm going to do the other one differently. Open this up. The radius is 2 boxes. So it's going to be 2 times 0.5. And how do I know it's a radius? Because I'm getting a radial arm coming from the center point of the circle to a point on the a point on the arc of the circle. So I'm gonna do a finish sketch on that. I'm gonna go to extrude, select that, make sure that, now you see that happen. Make sure that you select this circle. So select the outer half here. I want to do a cut, so I can pull this tab right here. Oops. And it cut. Doesn't matter how far it goes, as long as it goes all the way through. That's all I'm concerned with. So I'm gonna do a check mark on that. All right, so the next option I want to do, I want to go back to the drawing. The next option I want to do is I want to get this cut. I want to get this cut right here. So we know that the radius of that is 4 boxes. So I'm going to come back. That cut's going to go on this end. I'm going to rotate this around, click this surface, pick my create sketch option. Go back one more time to show you where it's going to exist. So notice this section was cut away. That means the corner of this box was here, lined up with this. I'll draw it back in there for you real quick. This was the corner. So now when I come back here, I'm going to circle. When I click here, open up, remember, I'm still in radius. Why? Because if you notice, my radial arm is coming out from the center. If I was in diameter, if I right click and hit diameter, then I get a chord across the circle. I'm going to right click again, go back to radius. So you can go back and forth. Just remember, if you do a different drawing, you may have to be in diameter. So you want to make sure that that option there is changed for how you need to use it. So I'm staying radius. Click this circle. My radius is 4 times 0.5. Check that. Now here's a situation that we haven't really encountered yet, is making this cut go, when I do a finish sketch, making this cut go to the depth that I want it to. So I'm going to do a cut, but I don't want to go that far. I need to go back to the drawing and determine how far I want it to go. So this cut goes 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. That's this green line right here. That's the depth. That's the depth of the cut. So when I come back here, I'm going to type in, see what if I got already. 4 times 0.5 right here. I pull this tab. 4 times 0.5. See it adjust, and I check it. And the last part of drawing, there's a hole on this surface. So I'm going to left click here, click on my create sketch, kind of center my drawing. Now we need to look at where's the location. There's a difference between location and size. So the location of this circle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes over, and 1, 2, 3 boxes up. Let's make sure on that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then it's 5 boxes over and 3 boxes up. Now, one way I can do this is I can do it a couple of ways. I'm going to keep this one simple, and maybe in a different video, I'll do a more advanced way. So I'm going to go to line. I'm going to come to this point here. I'm going to stretch my line out. Remember that distance was 5 times 0.5. And then when I go up, it's going to be 3 times 0.5. Oops, sorry. I'm going to come up here. It's going to be 3 times 0.5. Let's check that to make sure. Just checking to make sure I got my dimension right. So up this line, a little tricky here. I'm gonna drop a line off of this just to make sure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I was wrong. And then we'll drop a line off of here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. All right. So I made a mistake here. That's okay. This dimension right here should have been 6 times 0.5. So what I want to do is change this. So I want to double click this dimension. Make sure that you have nothing else chosen up here. So to do that, I hit escape first. I'm going to double click. Once I hit escape, that means that I'm not in any option up here. I'm going to double click this dimension. I'm going to type in here, should have been 6. So I just backspace on that, put a 6 in there. That line moves, that's what I want. This line is still 3 times 0.5. So that's still correct. I can go to circle. I can click here. Now we got to look at that circle again, make sure we get this right. The circle is cutting all of these boxes in quarters. So that means that this circle has a value of 0.5. So when I come back here, now I want to change this back to diameter. So I'm going to right click on this, go to diameter, and I'm going to put in 0.5. I'm going to do that one more time. Do undo, do undo again, go forward. I just want you to see what I'm doing. Go to circle, I'm going to click here. I'm going to open that up. I'm in diameter because you see the chord going across the circle. If I right click and go to radius, then the radius on comes out from the center. I don't want radius, I want diameter. I right click on diameter, open that up, and I type in 0.5. The formula will be 0.5 times 1, but 1 times anything is itself. I do a finish sketch. I go to extrude, select that circle. I want to do a cut. So I want to do a cut. I click the cut option. I want that to go all the way through. So you just put something in, like I'm just putting 5 in. It doesn't matter how long it is in this particular case because I want the cut to go all the way through. Before, this cut went to a certain distance. So I gave it some specific criteria. I checked that. And this is how you complete ISO number 4.